What's up, y'all? This is Chitty Bang, and I'm on the Renegade Millionaire Show, the podcast that profiles entrepreneurs, founders, and CEOs. Join us as we go one-on-one inside the hearts and minds of some of our generation's best and brightest. And now, introducing your host, my friend, Sun Group Wealth Partners Managing Director, CNBC and Forbes.com contributor, Winnie Sun.
Well, hi there, and thank you for tuning in to the Renegade Millionaire Show. I love it. It's your host, Winnie Sun, welcoming you to our show today, broadcasting from LA's TuneIn Studios. I'm a financial advisor and managing partner of Sun Group Wealth Partners here in beautiful Southern California. Take a moment to follow me on Twitter, where I'll update you with my latest posts on Forbes, CNBC appearances, and more. So bookmark this show, and you have questions pertaining to your own investment portfolio, you can just reach out, and we can talk. So real quick planning update before we get to our guest today. With tax season behind us and the summer coming, this is a great time to review your retirement plan and get ahead of contributions. If you've been contributing into your 401k or IRA, consider upping your contribution. Even a 1 or 2% over the long haul will really move the needle. And with that, I know who you're excited to hear from. Today's guest is someone I had the pleasure of meeting, believe it or not, while waiting to meet with the one and only Randy Jackson. We literally met on a bench in the middle of LA. He is also her manager, dubbed as Swedish girl with soul. I gotta tell you, she's got the most beautiful skin, but it just radiates her warmth and love inside. So I was just telling her actually when she came in, I said, "Oh my gosh, you're an adult with skin of a 1-year-old. How do you do it?"
Oh, you're so nice.
We'll talk about that. But she is one of the most talented voices of her generation. And in a very short time that we spoke, I could see not only a young, beautiful artist, but a person of considerable drive and ambition. So after just 1 year with her publishing company, she's already worked with several international artists. So FAYE, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Winnie.
It's so nice to see you again.
It's so nice to see you.
In a slightly different environment.
Yeah. It's not outside.
It's not outside. It's indoors.
Inside.
Yeah, so we don't need to have our sunblock today. Well, FAYE, I'm going to kind of lead the audience because I'm sure the audience is thinking, oh my gosh. So tell me, what do you do with Randy Jackson?
Yeah. I mean, we hang out. We hang out. We hang out at Chateau Marmont and eat their fish dish. Sometimes fried chicken. They do fried chicken on Sunday. That's cool. And we vibe out. We listen to what I've done since last time we met, and we plan, make plans, good plans, great plans, and then we execute, and we have a good time. He's a really genuine. He's a good person.
He is.
I'm blessed to have a person of that caliber in my life.
I feel the same way. Randy, you're pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
We are so grateful to have you in our life. I guess there's so many things. There's so many things I want to ask you. I mean,
go ahead.
You obviously you write songs, you produce, and so let me ask you. I've always been curious. How do you come up with the songs that you do?
I draw inspiration from all different kinds of situations and feelings. I just mostly try to be aware of life and being present, and you pick up a thing here or there. English is sometimes difficult.
It's okay. Sometimes I speak Chinglish. Sometimes.
That's cute, though. I love your accent. Yeah, but it's every song is different, It's like you have a bunch of friends. You have maybe your closest friends, and then you have people that you hang out with occasionally. And you guys like to have fun. And then there's this friend who you talk about all your deep stuff. And it's kind of that type of relationship that I have with different songs. Like sometimes you want to dig deep into the crazy and the hurt and the pain. And sometimes you just want to let it go and you want to have fun and you want to embrace.
So I wanted to share this quote that I read that you had said that I thought was just so meaningful. It said, "I didn't have much confidence when I was young, so sharing the music I created with others was really hard for me. Working with other people, like producers, requires sharing your art. That, in combination with my unquenchable thirst for creating, learning new things, and pushing my limits led me to start producing my own songs. It also presented me with an opportunity to experiment freely with different sounds without anybody pointing me in any specific direction."
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
Yeah.
For a 20-some-year-old, for a millennial, I got chills the first time I read it.
Aww.
So where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in this together, and we all have our fair share of fears and insecurities, and part of growing up is moving past them. And I mean, when you create something, I mean, music can be very shallow. It could be just fun and dancing and, you know, enjoying yourself. But it can also be very deep and very like you're revealing and talking about things that
They're very personal.
You know,
right?
very personal things, and to share that with another person, then you feel like, oh, I don't know, can I say this? Can I be this open? Can I be this honest? I don't know somebody else who would say this, and you question yourself. But I think that's just a part of the process of not just creating music, but living life and becoming your true self. Like, okay, this is who I am, and I might not be loved by everybody, and everybody might not get what I'm doing, but this is me, and that's okay.
That's great.
You know?
You know, recently I've been spending a lot of time with some chefs, and they tell me that
I love food.
Okay, with that, okay, Faye, we're gonna eat after this. But,
yes.
But you know, when chefs tell me when they're cooking, they feel like it's their heart and soul on a plate.
Mm-hmm.
So when you create music and you put it out there, do you feel like that's like you put it out there and it's like a baby, and you're hoping people receive it well?
Of course, that's the way I feel. And that's also a part of what makes it difficult sometimes, because you're putting that much into it. And sometimes I just need to remind myself, hey, it's just a song. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. And I mean, worst comes to worst, you can always change a line or two. And I bet that's what the chefs feel like too when they make it. Like, you can't be, when you create something with your heart and your soul, of course you want people to receive it well, but at the same time you need to be prepared for, like, hey, they might not like this. Mm-hmm. Like, our taste buds are different.
Right.
Our ears are different, and
our
it's not
different.
Yeah, so it's not a reflection on you. It's just a reflection of a piece of art that you created, and to be able to differentiate the two.
So that's
an important process, I think.
Yeah, so that's a great point. I mean, how do you go about when you create songs? How do you go about creating it? Do you take into account that you want to reach as many people as possible, or do you just focus on what speaks to you? And it's, you know, it's like almost like this is just your project and you're just working on it for this, or do you think about how it affects the audience?
It's a yes, no answer to that. Like I said, of course, I want I want it to be well received, but if I'm not true to myself and I'm not feeling it, then I won't be able to deliver it the way that I'm capable of. So I just try to just like one day at a time, one song at a time, just making sure that I feel it, that I'm happy with it, and that I was genuine. I was impeccable with my word. I was honest, and then if I feel it, I bet it will evoke some type of emotion to somebody else.
That's amazing. And you started singing when you were 3 years old in church?
Yeah, in church. That was fun.
Wow.
It was the Swedish church though, so it's not your American church. That was always
how is that
like
different?
a part of the dream. Like, hey, going to church, singing in church in the U.S. I still haven't. Okay. I've been to church here, but not.
You haven't sung in church.
No.
Maybe Randy will take you.
I bet he will.
Very cool. And then so at 12, you were introduced to hip hop. And that's when you started writing your own songs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What was your first song that you ever wrote?
Oh, I can't remember what the song was right now, but I remember I wrote it on a napkin. And my mother asked me, "What are you doing?" I was sitting in silence and just moving my head and just writing on this napkin. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm writing a song."
And so you were inspired by like Common and who else?
Yeah, Common, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, like the conscious hip hop. I love Method Man and Redman as well. Yeah, it just...
And then you started producing music at 16?
Yeah, I mean, lyricists and rappers, they great rappers, they have they can say the simplest things in the smartest ways, and that intrigued me, and that, how can I do that? So that was what I started when I started writing, just drawing inspiration from that.
So you don't rap, though, I mean... Or do you?
We'll see. I'm gonna leave y'all hanging on that.
I know. I'm like, Faye, when is this record coming? I mean, literally when she walked in, I'm like, Faye, when's the record coming out? We all want to hear it. But it's coming. We know it's coming.
It's on its way. It's a work in progress. Like I'm not looking to put something out just to put something out. And my friend's been on my ass, of course, in my case about it as well. They were like, holy shit, we've been waiting forever now. Won't you just, give us something now?
But it has to be right.
They've been sticking around for, I don't know, for however long I've been doing this, 12 years, 13 years. But on the other hand of that, like if it's been 12 years, if it's been 13 years, like what's another 6 months, what's another year? I just want to make sure that when it's out, it's good, and it is what I've always wanted it to be.
It will be good. Well, let's talk about your journey a little bit. I mean, you've worked with some incredible artists. Can you tell me a little bit, maybe give us a preview of some of the people that you've had a chance to work with and some inspirational moments that you've learned from them?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I've been working a lot with this producer called Nephew. He was one of the producers working a lot with Michael Jackson before he passed away, for like a year or two before he passed away. Also worked with Mary J. Blige, who is an amazing artist and an inspiration of mine. Carrie Crucial, who was part of building Alicia Keys' first record. So I just, and DK, worked with Lana Del Rey. Just a lot of amazing, amazing, great people. So yeah, I'm very grateful, and I try not to get, just looking back where I was a year ago and 3 months ago, if somebody would have told me that I would have been sitting here talking about this and just mentioning all these people as people that I work with, I would have just you're funny. You're funny, Bone.
That's not going to happen.
That's not. You're funny, but thanks. And here I am. But it just goes to show that I believe with anything, when you have a passion about something, and you work hard and you do your preparation, you work hard, and then there's nothing. You're broke, and all your friends, like my friends, are getting, I just bought this new house, and they're on their second kid, and they're getting married, and I'm like looking in the mirror, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry, pardon my English, but
no,
like,
it's fine. It's internet radio.
Like, what am I doing here? Am I crazy? Should I go back to school, like just get a real job, get a haircut, get a real job, and just, grow up? Is
get
that
a haircut?
Yeah, but is that it? And then things start to happen.
So let's talk about how things started to happen. I mean, there's a lot of very talented people all across the globe. We've seen them. They were even on American Idol. So how does someone who's very talented go about to get Randy Jackson as her manager?
I believe it's all about, preparation and doing, perfecting your craft and working on your skills, and walk by faith and not by sight. Like, it's there. You might not see it. You might not feel it. Your pockets are empty, and you're, like I said, looking in the mirror, and just keep going, because the people who keep going, they're the ones who get there. You will never get there if you don't keep going. Like, it's and it's a lot easier said than done. I feel like I halfway given up and then started over again. I don't know how many times. And I meet other, I've met a few artists who said, like, oh, I never doubted myself. I always knew this. And I'm like,
Really?
How? Really? Are we living on the same planet?
Seriously.
Really? And
I don't know anybody like that. Those are the people who go to Las Vegas and they only win.
You're like, it's not possible. So yeah, I mean, for me, I had 2 different publishing companies wanting to sign me as a songwriter. And I figured, hey, I haven't been to Los Angeles yet. This is, I mean, if you're in the music industry and you want to make it in music, then Los Angeles is definitely the place to be. I mean, Nashville is good too. It's more country. But if it comes to...
LA is the place to be?
Yeah, very much so. Entertainment business, yes. So as I figured, let me just take a trip out there and work with some people and see if I can boost my deal. If I can, If I
got my thing going on.
Yeah, like if I, let's see if I can, with cuts and percentage and everything. I mean, you got to be smart too. This is, regardless of how, like, this is my art, but I also have
business sense.
I also have bills to pay, and I so need to be smart about that. So I just went out here and I worked with some people, and in this one studio, I was working with this one guy, Fuego. He done some Leona Lewis stuff, and super talented, super nice guy. And there was this other girl in the studio, Leanna James, and she was coming in to cut some vocals on another record that they did together. So she was coming in and I was just finishing up. And we ended up having a conversation, and she was like, this is the realest conversation I've had with anybody in like 2 years. We need to hang out. You're fucking cool. And I was like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Let's kick it. I'm all about the good stuff. I'm all about positive and good energy and genuine people. Let's do it. So one day she called me up and said, like, hey, I have this session. Do you want to come with me as a co-writer? I said, yeah, of course. There's nothing else I'd rather do. And then she ended up having a family type situation, so she couldn't make it. So first she told me it was off, but then she hit me up again. I was like, but you can go on your own, if you want. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
Grab opportunity.
Yeah, just grab opportunity and run with it. So I went there, and there was this producer called Pillfinger, amazing producer. He's Danish, which is also funny. Like, I'm from Sweden and he's from Denmark, and we meet in Los Angeles and make music. It's ridiculous, but that's what I'm saying. This is LA. Everybody that you want to work with, they're here, regardless of where they're from. It's silly, but it's true. So we ended up doing a song, and he worked with Randy for quite some time going back, and he sent Randy the record, and Randy just responded within minutes like, yo, who is this? I responded like, hey, this is FAYE, Stockholm songwriter, artist. Nice to meet you. And then I got a call like 20 minutes later, like, hey, Randy wants to have a meeting with you. Are you available? So we met.
Wow, I'm getting chills listening to this.
It's so really that's it. So he's like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, Randy Jackson, absolutely. Where do I sign my life away? I'm so proud. This is just incredible. And that's how it's done. You just have to keep on pushing. I mean, so let's talk about, can we tease you and ask you to do a little something for the audience just to get a sense of just how amazing your voice is? Because we heard it in the parking lot of Randy's office, and I was like, oh, my jaw dropped. So maybe she can't give us that much, but maybe just a tease.
A little teaser. Okay. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face. Oh, and nobody's gonna bring me down today. Been feeling like nothing's been going my way lately. So I decided right here and now that my outlook's gonna change. Okay, let me...
Wow, amazing, right? Holy moly. If that was blah, I don't know what goodness. Oh my goodness, incredible. Wow, thank you so much. I mean, with that, I'm going to share, I gotta share this quote because this is huge. She said, when we tell our secrets and expose our fears, they lose their power over us, and we are finally free. I want to free myself with my art, and I want you to free yourself with me. I think with that, we absolutely freed ourselves. And I'm so excited and so proud of you. You've done so much at such a young, incredible age. And not only that, I thought since we're rolling right into Mother's Day, you kind of told me a little bit about your relationship with your mom. So I thought maybe that would be kind of cool to share.
Oh yeah, definitely. My mother is my biggest fan. She was the type to wear her ruby red lipstick and like 10-inch heels just to go to grocery shop. Like she was
hot.
She had it like that. She's a Leo. Very expressive. So she was my
she's your rock, right?
Yeah, she's my rock, and she always told me, like, regardless of what anybody says or thinks or tells you to do or who people tell you to be, just do you. Be who you are. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And so mom is where?
Stockholm, Sweden.
So
I can't wait for her to come out here and visit me. I just gotta get some shit together first.
She must be so proud of you, though, right?
Oh, she is. She tells me all the time.
Does she make sure that you're eating well and you're sleeping well and all that mommy stuff?
The best way she can, by reminding me every time I'm talking to her. She's like, "Are you eating? Are you sleeping? You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to take care of yourself." And I'm like, yeah, Mom, but I just, I got to do this and I got to do that. I feel like mothers never stop being mothers regardless of how old their kids become.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I have 3 of my own, And like every moment I'm not with them, I'm wondering how they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she's thinking the same about you.
I bet.
But I'm...
And I mean, also like she's when I think about it, like she's always been, like I said, very supportive, and I can't, like, if I had a child of my own and they just moved to the other side of the water and, you know, just going into this crazy business, I'd be like, okay, okay, we're doing this, and a little nervous, but she's just she's the best.
So is that kind of like why you're so, like, I know you love this Eleanor Roosevelt quote. So a woman is like a tea bag. You don't know how strong she is until you put her in hot water.
Yep. True story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes for everything. When you don't know how strong you are until you're presented with the opportunity to be strong and to rise above whatever circumstance, you know, is presented.
Yeah. So on that note, I mean, essentially, you are your own company. You are essentially FAYE, the startup company, because you are your business.
Yes.
So a lot of times, like, young people will approach us and ask us questions about simple things. And so in your case, you are so focused on being creative and being great at your craft. But I got to note something that I was really proud of. When she came in, we asked her to sign a photo release, and she literally read every line, every period. And I was so proud of her for doing that because, you know, there's one thing to be a creative, but there's also, it's so important to be smart when it comes to business.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. So I guess
Definitely.
I'm wondering, where did you learn this from?
I mean, first off, my mother. I grew up with my mother, who was a single mother, and she ran her own business. And one of the first things my mother ever taught me was, like, don't ever sign anything without reading it. Don't sign anything you don't understand. Period. So I mean, that's kudos to my mother, but also I understand and I have knowledge enough to know that I do not know everything. So I learn from others. So when it comes to different aspects, if it's money or investment or part of like running a business or about health or what to eat, like I'm not a personal trainer. So if I want to work out my body, I'm going to go and talk to somebody who's great with that and learn from them. And the same thing with everything else. So I have mentors. So I a mentor of mine, Ty Lopez, I learn a lot from him. So I just and read books. Books are great. It's such I try to read at least a couple of books a week.
That's amazing. Which is hard with your schedule.
It is difficult. It definitely takes a lot of dedication and effort, but you can at the same time it's saving me time, because if I'm smart and I'm learning from other people's mistakes, I don't need to make them myself. So it's
okay.
Then I save time. You know, it's
FAYE is challenging the Yoda right now at 20-some years old. These are things I didn't know until I was in my 40s. Right now, I'm like, what is going on here? This isn't an alien here, no. But I love her. This is amazing. Well, you are an amazing role model for so many aspiring artists. You know, I hope they learned something from you today, because I surely did.
Oh, that's I'm very humbled by that. I'm not. I'm just trying to. It's like Charlie Munger says. You know, step by step you get ahead. Not necessarily in fast spurts, but you know, learning and growing, perfecting your craft. That's what it's all about.
I like with that. I'm just speechless at this point. I love it. Thank you so much. A huge thank you to you.
Thank
FAYE,
you for having me, Winnie.
I'm
Thank
so
you so
glad
much.
we crossed paths on that bench in the parking lot in front of Renegade. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is huge because I feel like I'm sitting in front of the future Celine Dion right now. It's incredible. This is Winnie's son. Thanks for tuning in to the Renegade Millionaire Show. I don't know about you, but I am pins and needles waiting for Faye's album to come out. And so, Faye, how can we keep following you to know when that album's and kind of follow your path along this journey?
Like I have all the social media. It's at FAYE Music _. So Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. FAYE Music _. And also my Facebook page is FAYE Music.
And I know she loved for you to follow her, and I will.
I'd love for you to follow me.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and follow her, and I hope you'll follow me as well. And you can find me at winniesun.com or the Renegade Millionaire Show.com. And my Twitter handle is SunGroupWP. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.
Thank you.